Alright, we're going to be doing a sort of guide for Zarya versus Winston, which is, in my opinion, one of the hardest matchups in the game. I think Zarya versus Ball is even worse. but, you do your best. I think that it's generally pretty hard to find footage of this. I just happened to play a game that, while playing Zarya to try to get this to happen, well, Winston, this is going to be extremely one sided, and yet we're still going to win. Just mostly to better decision making and just a better team, frankly. But I'm going to walk you through, like, if you were forced to play this matchup, which I would not recommend, but if you were forced to play this matchup, like, what would you be looking for? And it's not always necessarily going to be this structurally disadvantaged against you. This map in particular is really, really hard for Zarya to play because there's so much high ground here. Gibraltar is, like, one of the most high ground heavy maps in the game. So that's much worse for Zarya than playing on, let's say, Oasis University, right, where high ground's not that big a deal, and even if they're playing Winston, it's pretty doable. This map in particular is just really, really hard. Zarya lacks vertical mobility. Their team is running dive. It's very difficult to get a lot of value here, and you're going to see why, right, as we walk through it. That being said, there's still lots of things that you can do, and then, you're going to see me kind of focus on those things. For starters here, one thing I would note is you should get really good at maneuvering the map as Zarya. Doing single quote-unquote rocket jumps, right-click jumps, is very, very important. They get you up to things really quickly. So I can jump up here versus having to go up the step on the right, and then I can do this. I actually don't even need this jump, but that's fine. And then going across here, there is a way to jump across without using any vertical mobility. You have to jump and then turn sideways, and then you'll land on here. It's not necessarily that consistent unless you have a lot of practice, so the rocket jump gets you over really easily. I don't think I have a guide for Gibraltar, but it's very common to play and contest bridge initially and then fall back from there. So, round started. I'm playing. I'm excited to hear that there's a Winston, so I'm like, oh, cool, maybe this will be a decent video to display. I'm going to play up here. I want to kind of like surprise walk into this because I want people to try to attack me right off the bat to try to get energy. I know I'm going to struggle with energy all game long. Like, this is probably one of the lowest energy Zarya games I've ever played in my life. So I want to come out here, and I'm like, hey, look, is anyone attacking me? Okay, he jumps up. I do bubble, right? I get a little bit of energy. Again, the 20 is like nothing. If I'm consistently getting 19 energy per bubble, I'm probably going to lose the game, for perspective. I would almost guarantee that I would lose a game if that happens. He jumps back in again. I think about using bubble here, but I decided to save it because I can see my team's under pressure here. So I'm looking for bubbling someone else. Because people know, I would say in this situation, people know that you're trying to farm energy, so they're going to attack someone else besides you. So you're going to use way less self-bubbles and more team bubbles. Generally speaking, I would say at Zarya, you're going to use 80% plus of the bubbles on yourself and only bubble someone else if absolutely necessary to keep them alive or protect them in ultimate, something like that. But in this play style where I'm playing against dive and no one's going to target me and I'm basically free to do whatever, I'm bubbling my team like 75% of the time after the beginning of the game. So again, comes in, I look, right, I think about doing the bubble here, but like she's already blocked, so I'd rather just save it, even though I would have gotten energy from echo explosions. But I'm more concerned about just maintaining space here, and with space I need bubbles. So I bubble here, right? I GM the Winston in. We also get walled here, so we're all kind of stuck in this situation. I tried to right click at the end, bad mechanics. Right? I just need to farm ult charge. Really, really hard for me to get ult charge as well because I don't have energy all game. I thought about bubbling the Mei, but I didn't think that she would die, and I was correct. So I'm going to drop here because I know the Winston's not there. Zap. Kiriko dies. Great. I'm looking for people. I know that Winston's back. Oh, Winston got rezzed. And I'm like, oh, shoot. I think about bubbling. Wait. Now I bubble when it looks like he's committed. Zap the Genji. Tracking so important on Zarya. You need to have good tracking aim. So I step forward here because I really want to get energy. Nobody attacks me, so I waste this bubble and make a mistake. They honestly could have just... if the Winston was smart, he would have cut me off and killed me there. So dive goes in. Right, I see the Mei's low. Bubble right away. Save her life. Zap. So notice that even after all these bubbles, I'm only at 23 energy. In a typical game, after this much time, I'd probably be at 80 energy or so. So it makes an enormous, and each point of energy is roughly, it's not exactly, roughly 1% more damage. So I'm only doing 20% more damage instead of like 80% more damage. It is a huge difference. Anyway, I knew right here that I was going to, after this bubble, I knew that the next bubble is also going to be on Mei because I can tell she's really low and she doesn't seem to have cooldowns right now because I don't see her using it. So I'm going to bubble again, right? She really should have used block there. It was actually quite lucky that she didn't die because she actually has block. I'm going to leave here because I have no bubbles and I know that my supports can't see me, so I'm just going to get out. Winston jumps up top, and this is going to begin a really unfortunate situation where they're going to constantly control our high ground, and I'm just going to do my best to try to not well, to do something, anything. So you see how futile this kind of feels. I can't do anything to stop them from setting up, right? From there, once they have up here, they can use this to jump wherever they want. Now, the thing is, like, I'm like, okay, cool, what can I do? I can stop the cart, because that's, like, literally the only thing I can do here. So I might as well stop the cart, see if there's anybody over here. There's nobody here on the left. I see Genji. I zap Genji. As soon as I hear the Winston go and hear Visor, I look to see who's jumping. I look, right? Lifeweaver does a good job getting out of range, so I don't have to worry about it. May's here, but May's full health, so I know I don't have to worry about her taking any damage. So I wait here, right? Again, see, I still have 2 bubbles. I'm just holding it because there's just nothing for me to do with them. My soldier's going to frag out this game. He has Mercy pocketed as well, which makes him super hard to kill, plus the fact that I give almost all the bubbles to teammates. So Lifeweaver goes up with the Winston. I pop bubble to make him, not die. I walk in here. I really want to get energy. Nobody's actually really attacking me after all that. They do a good job baiting out the bubble. I almost die here. I pop bubble just in time. Oh no, actually I knew I wasn't gonna die there, which was lucky. I actually really should have popped bubble. I see people get bounced around. I'm looking, right? I see May get popped. I shouldn't have bubbled the May here. She was actually not in a lot of danger, because especially with tree up, I'm not used to playing with tree yet, and like sometimes I have trouble identifying if the tree is our tree or their tree. But she was never gonna die here from Primal Rage Winston. Like, it's not possible unless the Winston's fearless. Like, he has no way the May dies. But remember, like, what can I really do here? I can zap anything that's in range, and I can use team bubbles to prevent the dive target from dying. It's very, very important to identify who is a dive target and save bubbles for them. And beyond that, just do 90 damage a second is all I can do. Versus 170 if I had full charge, right? Everyone's basically ignoring me, which is the correct move. Like, none of them should be looking at me at all. I'm just zapping. Okay, it is what it is. I bubbles again. I look, right? I see, hey, who's actually in danger? I figure May can't possibly die here. She's already in tree, and she presumably has block. So I bubble the soldier just in case. I don't think he actually needed it. Now, this is a big moment, right? I managed to finally farm ulti after 2 minutes of play. I would probably normally get it 30 plus seconds faster, but I am going to get it. So Mercy's going to go for this gutsy res right here. I have ult right now. I already know that I'm going to ulti. So I pop ulti. I know that Suzu's just used, and Mercy can't fly out of this because she's going to get grabbed in. Whoever gets res, in this case it's going to be the Genji, is going to get grabbed in as well. I go in, right click, and at this point I know the Mercy's super low, so I just want to melee to make sure she dies, and she dies. Right. Again, more stuff happening in the background. There's literally nothing for me to do. This is very unusual as a tank to just stand there and be like, well, I guess I just stand here. Right? I see that Soldier's the only one who's low. I bubble him right away. Winston immediately is like, oh, shoot, because you're going to see the Winston go. He's like, oh, I'll get him. Right? Zap, and then as soon as bubble goes up, Winston does the right call, which is to stop attacking, but that means no one's going to die here, and then Winston's going to die. Echo's going to go high ground. I ignore her, and then I try to do... There is a way to do a jump up here. I just don't know how to do it, which is unfortunate. I keep messing around here for a while. They eventually kill the Echo in the back line. But this is a mistake, by the way. I knew it was a mistake, but I just wanted to try to do the jump. The correct thing for me to do should have been to go back to high ground and then take blue boxes over here. These are called blue boxes. This is blue tarp. Actually, I think this used to be called blue tarp, and this was blue boxes or yellow boxes, because there used to be a tarp on it. But anyway, whatever, I should have gone back to high ground, because again, you notice on low ground, there's nothing I can do. But if I stand high ground, I can do something. Like, I can force resources, buy time, and force them to have to clear me off high ground at a minimum. But from low ground, I literally can't do anything. So I'm going to stand here. Again, my first person view is not going to help you at all, because there's literally nothing for me to do. My team's going to reset after having killed Echo. They're coming back. Right? The good news is we are 5-on-4 right now. I know the Genji's in, but I can't do anything about it. I zap the Winston as much as I can. I just chill here. I can see the dive going on. This is so hilarious, because there's like literally nothing. Like, my first person view is nothing, right? I mess up right here. This is probably the one mistake that I make in terms of bubbling here. Or one major mistake. The Lifeweaver's super low. I have 2 bubbles saving. I didn't see him on the corner of my screen until the last second, and I couldn't get it. That was big. I also then lose Soldier here. Does Soldier die on the right? Yeah. Soldier I couldn't have bubbled, though. I don't blind of sight. If I jumped, I might have seen him. But so now I thought I was going to lose this, but I'm like, you know what? It is what it is. Right? Just trying to stay alive. I recognize the only 2 people alive are probably me and Mercy, and because no one's focusing me, I can use all the bubbles on Mercy. Right? So, or actually, May's still alive over here. So I bubble the May because May's super low, but I actually should bubble the Mercy. I use both the bubbles right now. Probably a mistake to bubble the May. I should have saved it, but my goal here is just to stay alive, right? Play for time. I'm not trying to injure anybody. I'm not walking through the bubble trying to hurt people. Literally, I just need to buy time because we have short spawn here with May plus me plus Mercy. We're excellent at stalling, so I just want to stall, right? All I had to do is stall here. Stall, 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 stall. I want to see how low the May is. Yep. All right, I bubble her. Great. Right. Farm a lot of ult charge. Quote unquote, a lot of ult charge here from the Winston. Right. Again, team comes out, frags out. Goes in here. Yep. Great opportunity for me to try to get some ult charge. But the problem is nobody here really does any damage, so it's hard for me to get energy. Right. But bubble, good bubble. I know the Mercy's super low. I was trying to right click her out of the air because I knew she had Valk. But this is probably a bad LT by her because no one's really going to die here, so this is just going to stall out for a while, so this is a waste of ultimates. I bubble the soldier because I thought he was getting focused, but he was not. That's also a mistake. Again, aim for supports. That's really all I can do. Right? I see people get low. Right? Saving bubble, saving bubble, saving bubble. Or actually, I don't have any bubbles right now. At this point, I go for Kiriko because that's literally all I can do right now. That's a common refrain. But with Tree up, we're just so good at stalling. Tree is surprisingly good against dive. Honestly, it's just really, really strong and just that like the AoE healing against teams that lack heavy damage. It's very annoying when I play as Winston against it because I'm like, okay, nobody's gonna die now. Burn the Kiriko, great, excellent. And then we're gonna go back and we're gonna take high ground here. Again, you see me jump up really quickly. I chill. Right, I want people to start focusing me. Right, I pop bubble. Yep, got 30 energy. Finally, I can do like a little bit of damage. I understand that I'm taking a lot of damage right now, so I actually am gonna drop off. I actually probably did not need to drop here. I was thinking about it, and I decided to play it safe, but I probably did not need to drop. But I am trying to farm grab as fast as I can. I got grab. I'm looking for a grab opportunity. I'm totally fine doing a cheeky grab, like for example grabbing up here, if I thought that would help me win the fight right now. But right now it feels too early. The other team is not yet like committed, so I want to make sure that my grab will win, and grabbing the Winston there did not seem like it would help me win. So I see Echo here has Zarya, copied Zarya, right? So that's a huge danger because she's going to farm grab really, really quickly. If she farms grab, we're almost assuredly going to lose. So I'm looking for a grab opportunity on her. First, I blow down shield, right? Because May ulti was up, so she used the shield to get out. I almost destroyed the bubble in time. I'm going to grab right here. So this is really interesting because there's 3 people in the bubble, but on the other hand, it's going to virtually guarantee that the Echo copy is going to die, and the Tracer here, right? And it's going to prevent the Winston from doing anything, which allows my team to like take space and set up, etc., etc. So from here, just right click, right? I could have done right click melee as well. I just figured I needed more damage. And then that basically kills everybody. I saw the Mercy was low, I aimed at Mercy. Echo kills my May, but that's fine. I kill Echo. So I bubble the Mercy to make sure that the res gets off. Burn, 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 burn. Right. I have bubble here, but even the May dies, I know I'm totally fine. And that's pretty much it. So rolling back, I want to cover the grabs in particular, especially this grab is really, really important, right? Again, I was trying to burn down. If anyone helped me with this bubble, then she would have gotten frozen inside of the May ulti. Like the bubble, she actually, that rocket jump was actually big because that barely gets her out. If she hadn't rocket jumped, she would have been frozen on the edge. But this grab right here, right, again, their core damage dealing lineup, right, all 3 people are here. The Kiriko and Mercy are just focused on healing right now. So as long as I control the 3 people who are actually doing damage, then it means that they're going to lose all their pressure, right? Again, Echo copy is going to get wasted here. Mercy flies into it as well. I kill the Echo copy. You see Winston's nearly dead. Also, forces Primal. But the thing is, he's already lost Tracer, right? Because Tracer got caught in it. Lost Echo copy. Mercy's low, right? Soldier does a good job focusing her down. And then, at this point, just rolling people over. So, hopefully this was kind of instructive, right? Thinking of a team-focused Zarya. Again, I do not recommend playing this matchup. I do not think that it's successful. I would say that if I was facing off against an equally skilled tank who was playing Zarya and I was playing Winston on Gibraltar, I would assume I'd win probably 75 to 80% of the time. Like, I don't even think it's close. I would completely run over them. But there are times where you're going to have to play Zarya into Winston, maybe because you just open the map that way. Maybe you're 80% to ult charge and they swap to Winston. I don't think you should swap off Zarya in that situation because I think grab is one of the strongest ultimates in the game, so you might as well get that grab off and try to win a fight with it. So there are times where it's still important to recognize, like, how do I play around using team bubbles versus self bubbles, and still be effective in that scenario. All right, I'll stop there. Hopefully this was helpful.